Now we're all ready. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hi there, welcome to the Gavin Gallery right here in California. Well, you know, I thought of like just wearing like a t-shirt and just all the shirts and stuff, but I'm like, oh, and it's so cold up north, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wear lawn underwear for something to wear. Kind of like, I'll sell for this for sure. But and hi, and thank you, John, for setting up the Lisa one, and thank you very much. That would be awesome. I thought I would try to read a poem because I usually don't try to read periodic table poems for the open mic, but I know some people haven't heard some, so I thought I would pull one. I'll do a humorous one, a periodic table one, for some people because I did them at a feature at Beach Poets this year. And I don't know if everybody was there. So I came up with this additional bonus poem for number 13 in the periodic table, which is aluminum. But this poem is called Aluminium? Aluminium? Aluminum?
Aluminium.
Aluminium. Many names for yourself.
Aluminium to you too.
So back in the day, this is how researchers conducted science while working with things they didn't know. Now, when a Denmark man in 1825 discovered element 13 and wanted to know everything about it, he tasted the element, thinking it was bitter, and it made his mouth tighten up like he ate alum. He posed the name for element 13 to be aluminum. I think the scientists that formed this element naming community didn't really like that name, so they decided to call the element aluminium. Now, wait a minute. The element's name is aluminum. Aluminium's a British thing, so why is it known in the States as aluminum? Well, I heard a man explain to me that he heard, now I don't know if this is entirely true, but hear me out. He heard that in the States, when a company, it might have been the Aluminum Company of America, Alcoa, but I'm not sure. It was strange, when they were starting, they filed their name to the federal government, and when meaning to write the Aluminium Company of America, they forgot the letter I. So their name became the Aluminum Company of America. And, well, it stuck, not only to the company, but also to the science community in America. And because someone potentially forgot to write the letter I for registering a company name, all American-speaking companies say aluminum instead of aluminium. So, from tasting like alum to misspelling a word, aluminium, or rather, aluminum, quite nearly has quite a long list of aliases. Aluminium, which is, because it tasted like alum. It's like aluminium? You know, I'll try that, and they're like, well, they're going to go with aluminium. So, I don't know if I would do another one, but I want to call up my first guy. So please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joffrey Stewart. Joffrey, go on, everybody!
That's important.
I'll do three, two of them mine. This first one is from the newsletter Voices of the Voices for Creative Nonviolence. A Diane Lopez Hughes in June was on a peace walk from the Rock Island Arsenal to the Air National Guard in Iowa. And she kept a log, a diary. And on one of the days, she wrote a poem. So the title is, well, I need my glasses for this. Strong sunlight is the best. Day 9, 6/18/13. The sky So lovely, breezes beautiful, and clouds like cotton galaxies. Why must we fill them with drones meant to harm, to kill, to hinder any progress that could make enemies into friends? The sky is much too lovely, and we are too loving to accept such an end. Diane Lopez Hughes.
By the way, there's some nice echo whenever you say, hello, and when you hit that, it totally echoes. That sounds awesome. Just want to say that. It sounds awesome.
The one you have, I passed out at the Hiroshima Day. It was one of 5 titles I probably had. At the Hiroshima Day demonstration in Hyde Park at the Henry Moore Sculpture. And the one that follows is about that event. So here's the title. How does a conscientious tax resistor poeticize Iran? The Zionist wolves ramp up their international capitalist game. Invisible to Marxists, any Jewish chauvinists, but gaming Marxists who can't see as capital the $250 million that jump-started Israel, nor Edmond de Rothschild as a capitalist, no matter how big the bank accountability that might be for the misery of Palestinians. But the Iranians shoot poets, and even though this rhyme is not worth a dime, it's the truth that matters. If it aims to shatter ruthlessness, dissolved into the harmlessness, subversive to the monotheistic template of authority, Nazarenically smashed at Mark 10:42-43, interdicting the taxes through which Juan Williams might at last nuke Iran, at least in his heart, nuke, disregarding suicide bomb rebuke, but burning up some costumes that make his air flights uncomfortable. Now that he has grabbed the prize he eyed in otherly days that were paradoxically kingly. And here I use the first 5 words both as title and first line. A third night in Salonika. A third night in Salonika found me finishing with cherry pie as American as the violence with which H. Rap Brown killed a racist cop. We 3, however, be pacifists. Megan, unlike Jesus, with a degree in peace and justice studies from DePaul, and presumably worth more than the one the Scarecrow got. And the world-traveled Brad, well read in only the Zionist version of the invasion of Palestine, justified by the Opium Wars, slavery, and disregard for Luke 6:35, by which Rothschilds got the capital to initiate invasion by buying land out from under the dispossessed. And this on Hiroshima Day, Japan time, and which we had commemorated at the Henry Moore sculpture at the contaminated scene of crime, of bomb making, where Obama ignored meaning of the First Amendment to tell me my anti-Zionism didn't belong, where the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom came out for Barry Goldwater because a Dixiecratizing president could hell bomb the Vietnamese for peace and freedom, of course, because he was Jewish, of course. Where the U of Chicago refused to divest from Israel's partner in apartheid, and where a woman at commemoration turned her Jewish face south with expressions to discourage northbound passersby from taking my leaflets, and with some effect. Magnified by another attendee at commemoration, snatching some of my leaflets, the more to sabotage, presumably, the well-intended peacemaking effect. Reading a poem on open mic, I heard moans. When I pointed in the direction of the lying and deceit that has accompanied Israel's rogue Israel's bomb-making, testing, and proliferation for 65 years and counting. Nothing hurts Zionists like the truth about Israel. Close by the sculpture, some held hands. Not all who sabotaged my effort held hands singing, "We shall overcome." Before we, Remnant 3, accessed Salonika, noting inter alia how Trotskyist splits in the first A-bomb war reinvented anarchism, generated post-Socratically from the Peloponnesian War, and the impossibility of being vegan without some animal B12, the cannibal doctrine for transubstantiating wafer and wine being totally inadequate.
Thank you.
To which grad do you refer?
Red lip.
I thought so.
Which grade did you refer to? No. I thought I would, because a new month had come along, because my magazines are coming out every other month now. Well, read July, August issues came out. This one, this whole gnarly mess is done in the Dirt magazine, which is really cool looking cover. Well, I'm just saying. But I thought I'd read one really short one from Roland Stricker, I'm not sure you say it. So Roland, this is your poem, very, very short. It's called Paper. Discarded on many paper-thin layers of my soul over the years, becoming a stranger to the stranger I was. The dirt, and you might hear something about cc&d a little bit later on. And if there's anybody that has come in, I've just got this list and I've got my pen, and anybody want to sign up on the list? What am I looking at here? Well, there's people like Tom Ruby, Jeanine Rafley, Patrick Curley, the boxer himself, my itty-bitty little sidekick, about Laura. It's like, hello, if people aren't on the list, come and let me know. But now that I've said all these names, get everybody clues to their order. Please give it up for Mr. Tom Roby.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Janet.
Yes, sir.
Janet, who I have to thank because she's published one of my poems in cc&d magazine, January through June 2013
All right.
collection book,
All right.
Guilt by Association.
By association.
So I am definitely guilty here and will serve my sentence of about 5 seconds. Since I wrote a haiku that Janet published here, and it says 2011. After tsunami, red-haired girl sits, clutching knees. Game of pickup sticks. I'll read that again in case it went by too fast.
Woo, get it again.
After tsunami, red-haired girl sits, clutching knees. Game of pickup sticks. 2011. Don't thank me, thank the Pacific Ocean and the nuclear industry at Fukushima. Yeah, this in a way is appropriate. In fact, those of you who know about the sinkhole in Louisiana will appreciate this. But actually, it's called eviction, and when I was president of a condominium association, I recommend nobody ever go near that post. We had to put somebody out in the street, and the whole building sort of shuddered because people whose budgets were close to the edge were looking over the precipice. And so what I did was I took some. I got pretty familiar with the law, the eviction law, and the building codes and everything that is involved there. And those of you who ever serve on a condominium board should know that the board is on the nickel for the assessment if they have not done due diligence. So anyway, I made this thing up. It's alternated with the excerpts from the law and the procedures, and the voice of a counterpoint, voice of a disturbed owner, eviction. The association shall have no authority to forbear the payment of assessments by any unit owner. See that high chair soaking in the rain? That poor man came home with 2 small boys to find all their furniture on our front lawn. Please be advised that payment of said amount so due is hereby demanded of you within 30 days of service of this notice, or your right of occupancy will expire. This happens to tenants who skip payments in housing projects where people never pay their bills. Not at Valhalla High Rise. The bailiff stays home during inclement weather and Christmas week. We are owners. You don't put a man on the street because he falls a few months late. It could happen to you. Maybe the board can't be a banker, but it could have a little give. If the owner fails to cart his chattels within 24 hours, the city will send the scavenger. I always pay my bills. That's why I moved here, to get away from this sort of thing. The association can rent the apartment to pay the assessment. Anybody can fall behind. Someone should take up a collection. I give a few dollars. It can happen to anyone. I just wish it didn't happen here. Eviction. Thank you. Now here's another economic issue. The bottom line glimpsed on a number 6 bus out to Hyde Park. Potholes jolt the packed aisle, make me grab a pole and peek over the shoulder of the seated lady who peers into her sawtooth paycheck envelope and audits the residuals from the takeout boxes with a bleeding paper-cut index finger. Gross pay, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Tax fed, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. FICA, ka-ching, ka-ching. Medicare, ka-ching, ka-ching. MedLife, ka-ching. Tax ill, noi. Ka-ching. Net, ching. That's what's left over for food and the rest. Transportation. Then presses the ends of the envelope with both hands to open it wider and wider like a mouth as she gapes into the gap, calculating what must be let go until the bite snaps shut on thin pay. And I think, if I had been able to get her seat earlier, she would be standing here, the envelope safe in her purse and her pain laid away until she got home. Bye. And on a more poetic ground, request to my reader, start your search by yourself, but then find me in some lost anthology that the library forgot to remainder, or in a chapbook gifted by an eccentric aunt. Searching without knowing how to find my special page so you can put your fingers to your throat and feel our pulse as you read me out loud, and I will give you the right to slit my page, pull down your blade across the binding and cut your thumb almost by accident, careful that the blood spurt won't blur the words you take, learn by heart, read to your closest friends, so they will want these words, will want to know about the guide page, so you can say it is our blood in the flow of life, in mortality. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice when I haven't seen these people. I was like, oh, I get to see you and check out. And because I had said, oh yeah, there's a new issue down in the dirt, I have to also say, there's a new issue of cc&d. cc&d magazine. And we had no photographing the fireworks, and we just made it look cooler on the skyline for, you know, for 4th of July stuff. But there's a bunch of cool people in here, and this month happens to have a Chicago Health section as well, which maybe my next person would read something from. But I'm going to read a few from cc&d. Some are not from Chicago. But this first one is a poem by Devin Sova, and it's called Some Feelings Never Go Away. It's that kind of hysteria, like when you're sitting in church at your father's funeral and someone leans in and whispers, hey, do you want a chocolate velament? And you laugh and laugh, and you can't stop laughing, even though your dad has been cast in marble, laid out as cold as a pint of mint chocolate chip. That was so much. I can't say that before. And I have to tell this one. This is from Oz Hardwick, who lives in Leeds. He's in the UK. And I have to tell you guys, because in 2014 we're changing the format of these magazines. They will still be every other month, but they will be sent up from a different printer. They will be 9x6. They will have not only their usual ISSN number, but they will also have an ISBN number, and they will be available not only directly from the printer, but also from Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk or anywhere through continental Europe. So these magazines are going to start, and I was still thinking of people like us who are in Leeds, who's like, I can't afford, is all I'm thinking. These people that are across the pond, they're like, I can't afford 20 or 30 bucks for shipping. And then I hear he's going, I just got copies of your magazine today. And I'm like, did you buy them and have them shipped? But that's really expensive. I didn't think you'd do that. And he goes, well, it's worth it to get it. And I was so thrilled at that one. I'm like, well, in 2014, you'd be able to get shipping a lot cheaper for you because I'm trying to get this thing around the world. And so I have to do this piece from Oz Hardwick, which is in this one called No Smoke. Fire can't be trusted. Its dark heart dancing, red in the charred papers, scandals and lies. The smell of smoke, broken promises, and last year's Christmas trees. See, there are words drifting before your eyes, twisting to what you want them to be. A promise, a rumor, a prayer. Better to trust air or water. Better still, earth. Deep below, a rumble. Ignore it. And before I call up in the Chicago Pulse section, I thought I would read a tiny one of mine that I happen to have in here, which I read at Poetry Love Letters. And it's really short, so I thought I'd share it with you. This is a Twitter-like poem. Twitter. This is Lost My Breath. I looked at you, disheveled, spilling your words at me. I almost lost my breath. It was just that seeing you and hearing those words, well, I was speechless. And in light of that, I'm going to leave my breath for the next reminder who has got something in here. Maybe she will read. Please let him know, get up for Jimmy and Ravisloop. And you're gonna get, she's buying my book off of me.
Oh my God, buying my book. Anyway, this is cc&d, and I'm going to read my poem, mostly about a color. 2 yards of thin blue silk. A woman makes a dress out of these. The blue silk dress moves across her body like a blue wave when she enters the sea. The swimmer in the thin blue silk dress drowns in the sea. The blue sea reclaims itself. 2 yards of thin blue silk float away, away. So I have a book, The Chronicles of Scarborough, and I'm going to read a poem from that. Me and pretty Mary at the bar, Bobby flipping burgers in the back, killing roaches with frozen steaks, Julie walking through the door, a blue tattooed butterfly fluttering on one white breast, while Matt passes another reefer back and forth, puts a quarter in the jukebox, plays Lush Life. Then Jake rolls dice across green cloth. Snake eyes. No drinks all around. This appeared in this Poetry Journal magazine online, and it's titled The Defectives in 3 parts. Subway roses in a dime store vase, wild Irish rose bottles empty on the floor, on the bed, broken glass, recriminations too. Diego on the street, a hole in his heart, shots, more shots, slow motion getaway. Whores and pimps move in unison like choreographed dancers, dodge bullets while ice cubes drop, one by one by one. In some motel ice maker. 3. Dog, this freak show is a doter. Here's to life below the morphine lies. Pinball machines, distorted mirrors, fun houses, impossible rides, arms thrown up in I surrender poses, tunnel love, your uncombed hair on the pillowcase, blood, more blood. Thank you.
Thank you. I will give this and talk about it and then head off to you because
They're buying my books off of me. Which is awesome. And I feel bad that there's no Bruce Mattson here to be able to read Less High, More Cool. Or no Pepper. Pepper's not here. She was here a couple weeks ago, but she's not here for this one. Actually, I should do this one just for that element. This is Bruce Mattson. Less High, More Cool. Can't believe I'm doing this. A wise man tells his daughter, "You are the son I always wanted." Show me the This is so awesome. It's fireworks. Sorry, it's just an idiot. But yay, cc&d. And if anybody's interested in submitting stuff to cc&d, you come bug me and I can give you an email address because I would love to get submissions because that's what I do all day. But in the meantime, I would love to hear from one or if life crossed me on himself. Please give it up for Mr. Patrick Hurley. Woo, Patrick! I want to learn my name for you. It's not my magazine, it's amazing. Thank you, darling.
So I'm going to read newer stuff that has been read here before, but will be in my 9th book, The Best and Worst of Both Worlds. Freshly fired. He holds his cigarette, delicate as a rose petal between thumb and middle finger. Index gently touches the end. Ring finger feels the heat of the ember. It's the smoke that draws his attention. Ghost swirls from his lips, floating free to the universe. His hands limp, relaxed, his whole relaxed. The cost is known, another day off the end, another round in the chamber, spinning the cylinder, another day less. It's cathartic, passes the time. And what is life without enjoyment? This slow decay, as the mind and body begins to fold, as the weight of experience begins to push down. He begins to melt into the floor, spread out within the universe, like Billy Pilgrim, become unstuck from time. Moments certainly felt like it. Moments certainly felt like it. And there was a certain aroma, the scent of a freshly fired round in the chamber. Within the pages, I unfold before you, yet you refuse to turn the pages. My mystery lies within. It is nothing, nothing but a life, another cell, like all others, like no other, resting in mud, waiting so patiently for discovery, and you are so patient. An easy gesture. It's small, so small. A smile, a hello, a wave, a connection between you and them. Do they smile in return? Does it matter? Do they walk away with a sense of comfort? So easy a gesture could mean so much. For Amelie. Her eyes so big and bright, open to the world, gaze up to receive comfort. Her hands so small, little fingers and toes, held gently in big hands, kissed so softly, giggles are the reward. Smelly, dirty diapers are nothing but a privilege. To clean soft skin, an opportunity to sing ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, in calm, low tones. She came into this world in my hands, hearing my voice, feeling my touch, crying at night. I gave the comfort of a father's loving arms. They are here now, my darling, open to your aging, never turning away. I will carry you again through tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't clap more than my beer.
I would have clapped more, but it's carrying a beer along. And I should say this once because I know that I'm like bringing a less high, more coup or something, but I haven't said before, I'll say it now. 5 minutes, 3 poems. Keep that in mind because I feel like, are you springing up? Are you done? Are you done? I don't know what's going on. So, Eva Jovanovic, who wanted to come here tonight but couldn't make it, told me that I have to do this little stunt. So here I go. I will be interviewed and reading at the Poetry Saloon at noon at the Selzer Library, 4455 North Lincoln Avenue, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And that is on 2 weeks from now, August 28th. Yes, that's the part about Lawrence feature. I know, and I'll talk all about that later. But there will be a curated open mic. Poets can apply and give poetry through me, or there also is a phone number and a website for stuff through Eva. And all readers who also go up for the open mic have to sign an agreement form for NPR because I'm going to be recording it as well. But I'm going to be interviewing, I'm going to be reading periodic table stuff, so there you go. It's done, I got my announcement out, so yay.
Yay.
Yay!
I'm just really so now, oh my gosh, but now I've got like Mr. Awesome that's going to be coming up next. So ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Bobster himself, Mr. Bob Rashko! I'm popping in the mic and it's
All right, Sid the Yid is here. Great. I forgot to bring my notebook, however, so I'm just going to give you a couple of things by other people. This is by Aaron Teagarden. It was in Another Chicago, edited by the one and only Jacob Nabb, issue 50, and it's called Name Calling. On top of everything, there's this man who doesn't really love me. We stroll through the cemetery and he takes my hand, puts it on his cock through his pants, and kisses me half to sunglasses. The blue heron by the service pond eyes us. The moths and grasses stir up, and I feel my heart tight in the heron beak. I sink soft into a new grave bed. The man and I get good at playing games. We name ourselves the comfortable dead, members of the poor family, the sweet family. And when I point out these headstones as they pass, we're laughing. I say to him, hey, that's you. And that's you, too. Okay, I'm going to sing now. This is by Frankie Lane. Well, it's not by Frankie Lane. It was recorded by Frankie Lane. Okay. You might recognize it, but then again, you might not. Acapella, like Dan Cleary. Up in the morning, out on the job, work like the devil for my pay. But that lucky old sun got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. fuss with my woman, toil for my kid, sweat till I'm wrinkled and gray, while that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Oh Lord above, can't you know I'm pining? Tears are in my eyes. Send down that cloud with the silver lining. Take me to paradise. Show me that river. Take me across. Wash all my troubles away. Like that lucky old sun, give me nothing to do but roll around heaven all up with the dawning. Soon I'll be leaving, nothing but slaving, and all the time I moan, weary, so weary. Show me that river, take me across, wash all my troubles away. Like that lucky old sun, give me nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Thank you.
Wow! I got me another critter here. What's up with that? Awesome! Oh my god, that was a double plus cool. And what's weird is that I don't happen to have a John to troll around and throw a bag at, so I might have to start by like throwing it to my handy dandy sidekick afterward. But we've had a phenomenal feature. I'm so looking forward to this when this comes out with Sid. Yeah, give it up for Sid! Oh, we're singing it so it's louder when it comes up here, I'm sure, because you're all dumb. I'm really looking forward to this, and that's why I'm like, let me collect what I've got, throw my money together, put that in, and I want everybody to give your life savings, because he's so worth it. He honestly is. But in the meantime, and this doesn't mean you're off because you could have put in lately, my love, but please give it up for our second Bob of the evening, Bob Loris. Bob, give it up for your love. He's like, I'm here right now. He's like, I'm ready. In you go. Thank you. Stop passing around.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'll be the tonight. I'm going to be a feature in 2 weeks.
2 weeks!
And I'll be doing a Japan center because I had a visit to Japan last spring. So come with me on an international tour that will feature monologues, comic monologues, serious poetry, haiku, all kinds of things. All new stuff. Tonight I'm going to read one of my old favorites, 5 Meditations on My Name. 1. Like a dream, like a budding flower, like every emanation except the origin of origins, my name begins in story. Alice Widener, my mother, much younger than I am now, cradles a boy doll with rolling eyes. Behind her white lace curtains outline the summer breeze. Below her random shouts fade down city streets. Robert Allen Widener, she says, lifting the doll, eyes open. 2. Titles expand. Secretary to administrative assistant. Names contract. Joseph to Joe, Pamela to Pam, Nicholas to Nick, the only perfect nickname. The expansion of titles promotes pompous prose and deceptive doublespeak. Is the shrinkage of names a hymn to clarity and simplicity, emulating one phoneme I? Or is it a kind of laziness? Whatever, Robert Allen shrank to Bobby to Bob. 3. Names create boundaries in the nameless universe, but Bob's borders flare too wide. My name's domain obese in its commonality. The office where I worked There's a phone call for Bob. 5 guys leave for the receiver. Get your Bob Club mugs and underwear at the bobclub.com store. Google image Bob Lawrence. Hundreds of them pop up. None of them me. Every horse has a different name. Why do so many humans share mine? 4. Does name shape character? Would I be the same as Mortimer? Bob forward equals Bob backward. Am I thus tolerant of opposing views? Or, by seeing naively double, am I unable to discern bodily orifices from apertures in the ground? The vowel bends so easily. Bob! Shall I ever be strapped to the mast, beset by howling female voices? Bob! Boo, boo. Labial plosives make my name buoyant, bouncy. Am I thus floated into comic poetry by the sheer force of my name, but secretly nutshells shy? 5. We've had presidents Tom, Dick, and Harry, George, John, Jim, Bill, and Andy, even a President Barack, but never a President Bob. Oh, Bob has made it to Madison Avenue. Bob from account temps. Payroll to crunch? Bob will do it.
Pray for Bob.
Then why can't he get a full-time job? Smiling Bob, you might remember from the low-budget, high-camp male enhancement ads. The Bob Club should file a lawsuit over that. But hey, on the plus side, no Bob Stalin or Bob Capone, no Bob Napoleon or Bob Bin Laden, and you better be careful to call Robert Mugabe Roberts.
The 2 Bob Nut, I had to put the Bobs next to each other, of course, especially because they usually are performing stuff together. And yes, in 2 weeks, on August 28th, Bob Lawrence is the feature right here. Sounding triple plus awesome. And I do also have to say, we're normally every other week, but we were given 2 bonus weeks in September, which means that we've got everything from September 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th. Now, the regular one's on the 11th. You know, if you were looking for something to do on September 11th, come here. No, I'm dead serious. Come here because Dallas Malice is our feature. And it's going to be phenomenal. That is the way to shake the 9/11 blues or something. She is so awesome. That'll be great. And our bonus one that I have on the 18th is Eric Aston, which is so awesome. I love hearing his voice when he comes in and reads. And on September 25th, we've got poetry. I know, AKA, some of you might know him as James. He comes here every once in a while, that's triple plus awesome. We had somebody that was going to be a feature on September 4th, but she was unable to make it. If there is nobody that has a 2013 feature, you could have a feature in 3 weeks from now on September 4th.
Just do it.
If there is no one to do it, it'll be our second one of the year where it would be mini feature night. And everybody that comes in would get a 10-minute slot to do, hey, this is my stuff, and you've got a little spaces pro to strut your stuff and do your thing. And that also leads me into the idea of the collection book. Since I do publishing stuff, like this happens to be the 20-year anniversary of cc&d magazine, I do a lot of publishing stuff. I was working on, if I've got enough material together, to get a collection book of features and people that have been here at the Cafe Gallery here at Gallery Cabaret. It was going to be called The Chosen Few, which means every feature would get to choose one piece from their feature, which means Bob Rashko can do it because he did that recently, and I know that Jenny and Tom did that, and said you're just going to pick something from tonight and send it to me, and it would be included, and you've got a spot in there. And if it's a mini feature night, everybody who has a 10-minute slot can have a piece that's in. So that means, hey, I want to get more stuff in. Then go to your little slot. You'll have your video up because I always do video here because unlike the NSA, I want to get everything of you out there, everyone, to everyone because I'm that way. I'm so invading your privacy and broadcasting it everywhere. So keep that all in mind. And because, and I think Jenny Ramsley said it was spyglass did I use? And I'm like, well, that happens to be in this one actually. But I don't know, she's got this one. But just really
have that one.
You do?
I do not have that.
And because I had to, because I did the other Bruce Madsen haiku.
Yeah, but I have it in the other one, yeah.
Well, then fine, I'll keep it. Thank you very much. This is my 20-minute presentation. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Well, I was gonna say, I'll do that one where you call up the next guy whom I can't even remember who it was, but I told them, and where'd he go? I can't even see.
Oh.
There he is, thank you. I'm like, I can't remember because I'm talking, but I might as well throw out this haiku. That was because he's like, yeah, I've got a lot of haikus. So Bruce Madsen gave me one that's called haiku. Words in same boat, traveling on rivers of ink, remain strangers. Thank you, cc&d. And now I'm going to answer her questions, but I'm going to let Mr. Michael Hogue up here. Everybody give it up for Michael Hogue. Come on. Just throw that anywhere. Just throw it.
I'm ready to have my name yelled at. All right, I'm going to read a longish poem called Garage Sale. 1.2 miles south of Oakwood on Route 150, then south on County Road 700 East till Third Home. Peach bridesmaid dress, size 9, $35. Prom dress, high-low pink with shoes, size 7, 8, $30. Wedding dress and headpiece with slip, $95. Ambassador B-flat clarinet with stand, $20. Electronic typewriter, $15. Light vest, $5. Crutch, $1. Rabbits, many lops, each $4. Large bowl, mushroom motif, $7. Sign, $7. Metal home stairs, 26 inches, $19. Table skirting, $3. Almost new rabbit skin jacket, $25. 6 sports coats, various colors, washable, each $10. Casual clothes, all sizes, each $1. Motorcycle helmet, no crashes, $14.
No crashes.
Paintings, $5. Swivel chair, $5. Rubber wrap, $5. Miscellaneous nuts and bolts, 50 cents. Sub pump, $1. Snow tires, each $1. Hair dryer, $5. Paperbacks and textbooks, 5 cents. Kitsch stuff, 50 cents. Costumes, 50 cents. Parachute never used, $10. Glass shower door, $5. 6x9 glove, rug green, $1. Riding mower, needs motor, $10. $5. Record player, $5. Miscellaneous light fixtures, 50 cents. Teeter totter, $5. Youth baby bed, $5. Baby and tot clothes, all sizes, each 50 cents. Clothes, each 50 cents. Fabric, 5 cents a yard. 20-inch black and white TV with stand and ears, $5. Household items, dinnerware and silverware, 25 cents. Avocado teapot, $1. Desk, bunk bed, $20. Dining room table with chairs, some wood, $25. Wood desk, kid with drawers, $5. Jewelry, each $1. Nightstand, $25. 5-year washing machine, electric, $20. Couch, $10. High chair, crib, and playpen, $15. Car seat, $5. Refrigerator, electric, $25. Kid bike with horn, $10. Playpen, $2. Couch fold out, $5. Stove, gas, $50. Water heater, $25. Vacuum with all brushes, $10. Drapes, $5. Phone, $5. Linens, each 50 cents. Shower curtain, $1. Sheets of paper and envelopes, 1 cent. Coffee cups, all 50 states, $5. Pens, 1 cent. Vintage driver's license, $1. Cords and plugs, electric, each $1. Containers, paper and plastic and glass, each 10 cents. Lumber and kindling, $1. Stamps, 5 cents. Pots, plastic and ceramic, 1 cent. Various nuts and dried fruit, $1. Light bulbs, used, each 50 cents. Batteries, electric and used, each 10 cents. Lots of miscellaneous Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 all day, OBO, on, off.
Yeah. Gold American. People came from.
Oh my gosh, it's a riot.
And I sent out a letter in the middle of the year because, people were asking, like, so when is that book going to come out? The book of the chosen few, which is because you guys are picking your chosen few pieces. And I said, well, it depends on if all these features actually get me things. And I even sent an email out recently saying, hey, people who haven't sent me something, send me something and it would go into the book. And I set that up and I even put, by the way, these are the future features, so keep this in mind for when you go up. And then Michael Hogue, who has a feature here on December 6th, I think. Oh, do you want me to send something? I guess I'm like, well, you can wait until you know what you're actually have in your feature. You don't have, I was just trying to like say, hey, all you people in the past, if you want to have something in the future, you can. If for some reason people don't send me stuff, then it's apparently not going to get in unless they eventually get in. And if they don't have enough for this year, then it's going to be this year and somebody next year before that book comes out. It doesn't have to be an annual thing. It's one good enough to be able to have a book if people want to have stuff in it. So that's all I have to say about that because I'm babbling a lot. But what I'm really pleased about is that I got a newbie. Sorry, it makes me all excited. And she didn't even give me her last name, but she is a Bella, I would say. Most definitely. Please give it up for Bella and scream it up for everyone.
So much better.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening. I wrote this poem about my ex-girlfriend. Doesn't have a name, but I feel like it'd be the beginning of the end. So, here we go. I love you, I drunkenly muttered from the bathroom sink, sitting up high in a schoolgirl outfit, my eyes wide, my mouth open. And then she responded, I love waffles. So let me be the butter to slide across your surface and fill up every tiny crack. I'll be a breakfast buffet with options so vast you'll keep coming back. And if you were a record in a dirty hipster store, you'd be the one in the box, in the back, and the floor. My fingers would run against vinyl sleeves for years, never hearing the notes, always running in fear. And by the time I find your record, my needle will be wearing thin. But setting you on my turntable is more than worth the feelings of sinking in. A kaleidoscope of melodies, oh sweet baby, hold me, feel me, see every avenue of my urban intricacies. Forgive me for my loud voice and the way I sometimes stutter. All I can do is mutter above the roaring tidal wave of your beauty as you hold me, float above me, flick the switch on the Chicago skyline, like the city with your heart. And don't dare even start on that lesbian U-Haul shit, because god damn it, you will stick. Seal your adhesive to my eyes, my thighs, make me tremble at your touch. Lover, your eyes are the size of planets, and when you blink, the entire galaxy shifts. Not to mention, you understand every aspect of who I am. Yes, I am many others' mistress, but I yearn to be your bad bitch, your kill switch, flick the lights on your ship and let me guide us home. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'll get there soon, and I want to see you in the sky as the moon. You look so perfect as the little spoon. Press my lips to the hair on the back of your neck as my body contracts, it's a fact. I've never felt so content. So the next time you want breakfast, all I'll make is waffles. Towers filled with syrup and stars, I'll kiss every inch through the stickiness. Lovers say you feel this, breathe the air I exhale, never fail to smile with those eyes. Whether I find you between my thighs or dancing at my side, I know I'll enjoy this ride. By my hands to my back, not a metaphor, but a literal fact. Oh baby, you know I'm kinky, and you shrink me, make me melt. I want to be your 4th of July ice cream cone simply dripping down your hands, and it is here I stand, that the doors of my soul have no toll, no guest list. Just kiss my fucking lips like a 13-year-old in their first date. Seal your fate.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's it? That's it?
Well, I wouldn't remember that much stuff. That was awesome.
That was triple plus awesome. And I would just about say, if this one wanted to come by, if she even brought paper to read from, because you can't memorize 20 minutes worth of stuff, you could consider having a feature here in the beginning of December, or in September. I'll get my months right. In 3 weeks from now, if you're interested. Or if not, it's a mini feature might have to come by, and you don't have to memorize everything as you read it. But that was awesome. I always get just like nuggets and treats, and it's awesome. So get all down, people love. Give it up for Jerry Bendergast. Jerry, come on up and burn it. Thank you.
Okay, so this is August, so this is open letter to Sadako Sasaki. The August you were 2, a large chunk of metal with a tail called Little Boy hit your city, tossed you out of your home. 3 days before Fat Man hit Nagasaki. But you lived to run the fastest in your school at age 10. Lived to feel your blood turn pale, full paper cranes before your last meal in a hospital with family and friends. The October you were 12, I was 7 months. Your statue holds a golden crane in Hiroshima Park, dedicated in 1958. And in Seattle Peace Park, dedicated Hiroshima Day 1990. With a chain of smaller cranes, multicolored like Olympic rings around your upper body. I wonder if a medal from a track meet ever hung from your neck that grew a lump on when you were 11. My first Summer Games memory is from 1960, Rome. Long jumpers landing in sand. I wonder if the jumper's imprint is like one left by a vaporized body. In 1960, you were 17. You would have been 17. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, there's too much. I think of Tokyo, 1964, October, the month you died. Gary Gubner from NYU, arms raised in a completed clean and jerk, and a shot put sailing from his shoulder. He won medals in both. I imagine you at age 21 running in the same stadium. If I were a painter, I would portray you in a lighter, shadowy image on the track with opponents and teammates, a crane flying above the shot put. This is called Destined. I demand, I feast with a fence around my land. Distinguished guests sit and nibble. Tales of losses and gains flow from mouths. I designate a safe distance to the authorities for the tiny community nearby. This is called a sim elation. Ass on called. I earlier than you, I later than you, to land my language here. Nate, I've heard of him. Is he the one who know no thing about the crops planted, the medicines used by the First Nations that others learned? About the captured and sold, the bodies that dangled from a tree a mile from town? About the inventions, about the inventions of the escaped, the released? Am I great enough to shun the just off the boat that came a year after me? Am I great enough to be accepted by the came a year before me here? Thank you.
Thank you.
And trying to figure out who would be up for features, I think that the man that's coming up next doesn't have a feature. So it's very, very possible that Don Hargraves is going to be the feature on November 4th. It is the 4th, right? 4th. Pretty sure it's a Wednesday the 4th. It's the bonus week. And if not, come on by and be ready with 10 minutes and stuff for doing a mini feature. But please, in the minute, give it up for Mr. Don Hargraves!
Bob no longer works at account temps. Bob got himself a brand new job. You see, Bob had become tired of always being the one called in to fix some employer's mistakes, only to be tossed aside when the job was finished. Well, those same employers always called him in with the promise of a job at the end of the work. That promise never came through. Meanwhile, there's always a Mr. Nerlman at the company who seemed to luxuriate in his incompetence. And the company owner, a Mr. Fernwell, who always seemed happy to see Bob, yet happier to see him go. Well, Bob got himself a job in the city of Detroit. Or more to the point, some suburb that had no problem watching the main city fall apart from the same distance. When asked what he'd do without Bob, Mr. Fernwell said, "I'm sure Bob will crawl back to us, and if not, there's others who will be happy to take his place." Meanwhile, Mr. Nerlin began to really panic, afraid he might actually have to become competent for once. And lost in the supermarket. I went in for a box of almond granola bars and a bottle of purple carrot juice, but found myself distracted by some sport drinks that I had trouble identifying the brand name of. I then found myself at the frozen food section looking over boxes and boxes of something. It looked like it was supposed to be food, but what kind of food I couldn't tell anymore. Now I'm stuck with what seems to be the cereal section, but the boxes might as well be blank white things with the word cereal printed in block letters. I've been there for the past 5 hours, sitting in the aisles and asking for the people to help me out of the store. People look at me as if I'm crazy and then move on, looking for boxes of something like salvation or home. The fact is, I'd worship anyone or anything that led me out. Even a string or a trail of breadcrumbs could become my God if only it would lead me out of this fix I found myself in.
No, I'm running up like an idiot.
I believe that my last open mic is this evening, so it's always good to end with a woman, in my humble opinion. So please, ladies, unless there's somebody else that comes and says, what do I want to read? But ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Beast Wonders of Miss Robin Fine. Robin!
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you. Hi. Aren't we all excited we get to hear Sid Yiddish tonight?
Yay!
And just a little thing that's coming up on of August is Beast Woman series again, and I am an opening night.
Yeah.
So I will be sending everybody an invite to see if they can come. I'm going to try to do some stuff from memory, so please bear with me. I'm trying to learn how to memorize stuff. I forgot how the poem starts. All right, I'm going to do this one instead. This is a variation on a poem that Oz Hardwick and I put together, we collaborated on. She dreams of feathers, blue-green metallic sheen fanning wide, reflecting new glows, spreading through light, clothing limbs into elegant, powerful lines. She dreams of flight, of bending bars, breaking locks, smashing windows, flashing to open sky, high above receding chains and shackles, crackling with life and with fire. Unthinking hands conspire to clip her wings, to blunt definitions, constrain her to dull flesh, simplified, contained within a case of words, a cage of words built upon dirt and sand. But she is me and I am her. Look into the mirror, ripples of self-conscious make each layer of flesh where certainty lies. Mark each layer of flesh where certainty lies. Reflections of what ifs and maybe stare back with longing and desire. Freedom's taste at fingertips reach, and I pray for the wind to lift me, an unmelting Icarus to the sun, to paint this body gloriously invisible, blinding you and the world to my escape. We have become strangers till death do us part. My curves no longer fit into the rough edges you used to love to smooth. This is terrible. You store me on a shelf
Behind the odds and the empties, we fill our bellies with the sweet, bitter aftertaste of loneliness. Can we pretend? Pretend you still love my meatloaf. Julia Child, 3D black and white. Pretend you love my feet. Wrap your arms around my waist before babies and breastfeeding. I am Ginger, you are Fred. We dance around the kitchen tiles to the rhythm of our own bodies. Pretend we are broken, maybe just a little bent, fragmented circles sculpted into perfect symmetry. I'm still in love with the man I used to know. Somewhere in the twilight you are still undressing me with your mind. We bathe our scars in the moonlight of silence. We bleed happy into crevices of skin. You will swallow whole all this indifference with fingertips. I will sharpen my claws with great anticipation. Feed me from the corner of your heart you call lust. Feed me with your breath. Wipe clean each indiscretion with the palm of your tongue. I want to savor the taste of you with these thirsty lips. Okay. Feed me. Oh my gosh. Feed me. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. Back up. Water me between heart and thigh. I want to blossom into something extraordinary. But we seem to play on different battlefields now. I scream in this empty void shattered between apocalypse and technicolor sky. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm getting better at it. To technicolor sky, my only companion, deaf ears. You and I have become this human jigsaw puzzle drenched in red. Pretend we have nothing to hide. Peel away each layer of skin to unblemished perfection. Pretend we came here with good intention. Pray for the part of flesh that has no wrinkles. And I am perfecting the art of female martyrdom. Maybe this time we'll get it right.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I think I know why the problems were. I think that is a piece that is a combination of a few other pieces, and you're piecing them together. And you're like, I have to remember the pieces, and which actually gets tough because if I took like 3 lines from Burning and 4 lines from Too Far and a verse or two of Death Takes Many Forms, I'd be like, I can't even get that right. Okay, wait, so I totally understand that. And I'm going to look here at my list. And I'm just doing this because you guys are going to get a 5-minute break because I don't think Tressa is busy enough. But I'm looking at my schedule here and I'm seeing starting in August tonight with Sid Years and Bob Lawrence. And then the open mic, which might be Downtown Grabs or it might be a poetry open mic. I have no idea. We've got Dallas Knowles. We've got poetry. We've got Dave Getchik. We've got Marianne Schiffer. We've got Bill Yarrow. We've got GPA. The blowout comes up. We even have Michael Hogue. That's coming in December. And I swear to God, there's so much stuff going on. And if you ever want to know the schedule, you can always know it at www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. And now, your assignment is, go get yourself another drink because I swear to God, 5 minutes something, we're going to have a phenomenal feature from Sid Years. So thank you all. Thank you.